Hello everyone and welcome to the first video on my channel. Today I'm just building a tiny house for you all. I've always been really intrigued with tiny houses. I don't know if I could actually live in one myself, but I think that the concept of it is really cool. I feel like if I were living by myself, maybe with just my cat, then I could live in one. But I don't know. It's just a really small amount of space. And I guess if I was by myself, then it would be fine. But I could not live in this with anyone else. But right now, I'm just working on some of the exterior. A lot of times when I build, I'm kind of just all over the place. Like, I'll start on the outside and then I kind of give up because I don't know where else to go, so then I'll move somewhere else. You'll probably see that a lot in this build. I do that a lot when I'm placing windows, which as you can see right now, I started to do it, but the thing about windows and me is I don't know how they're gonna look on the inside. And for this house, it doesn't really matter since everything is, like, literally everything's open. But on other houses where there's a distinct floor plan, like, I will end up placing a window, and then when I go to make a floor plan, then I'll put a wall right in the middle of the window. So I just, I'll start doing windows like on the front of the house and trying to make it look more complete, and then I give up from the rest of the house until later. And right now, I'm just making a little pool. I really like the update where we can make the different foundation lengths. Not directly to the house, unfortunately, yet. But I thought it would be really cool to have a pool that was lifted up a little bit. You walk up to it, and I put the hedges around, and so it makes it a little bit more private. So I imagine that this house might be on a street where there's a lot more houses around it. So maybe the sim wants to be a little bit more private when they're in the pool. When you're in your pool, then you're in the swimsuit. So I could see the need to be a little bit more private with that. And since there wasn't a lot of room on the slot, I think it was 20 by 15, I didn't have much room to work with in terms of the pool. I would have liked to have a little bit more room to place, like, more seats, maybe another chair or something. But that's alright. I'm still happy with how it turned out. And right now I'm just working on more of the outside, trying to make a little pathway to the pool, because I thought it would be a little cool to have that. And now I'm just working on putting some more plants and things out there. I imagine that the sim that lives here might really like plants. And I decided to put some trees just to make it look a little more normal, I guess you could say. Like, maybe, I don't know, I feel like most houses have trees around them, you know? And right now I'm working on the other side of the house because I felt like it seemed a little bit bare. So I'm just putting some hedges around. And I try not to go too crazy, but at the same time, like, judging from, like, my cousin's house, I don't think she has one hedge that repeats on the side of her house. And I thought it was really cool to put these rocks around. At my mom's house, we have a bunch of rocks around the front of our house. We don't have any flowers or anything in it, but I don't know. I thought that looked a little bit cool. And now we're moving on to the inside of the house, which it was interesting. I feel like whenever I'm building smaller houses, then it goes a lot easier for me because it's easier for me to try to figure out where to put things in the smaller place versus when I'm working on a bigger house, then I have the problem of where do I put everything. So right now I'm just working on the bottom floor first, and I figured that that corner would be a good place for our bathroom, and so I'm going to work on that first. So I guess this is the only actual room of the house, because everything else is open. I don't think you'd want your bathroom to be open if you were to have people over. Or maybe the sim is just a loner and doesn't want anyone over. But anyways, I've noticed in other tiny houses that I've seen, they have the sink outside of the bathroom. But this is just a personal taste of mine, but I feel like I would want a sink in my bathroom and also in my kitchen. because it just seems a little bit gross to not wash your hands and then wash your hands in your kitchen sink where you make your food and everything. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So with that being said, I decided to put a sink in the bathroom. And then we're moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen I had a little bit of trouble with because I was trying to make it playable too, and I know that you need some counter space for the sim to use. I can't remember if they could use the corner or not, so I was just trying to make something else they could use too. And right now I'm trying to make an island, which ended up not working out because there just wasn't enough room. But in some of the pictures I've seen of tiny houses, they have a counter there. But maybe I'll just save that for another build. They'll be a little bit bigger. But right now I'm trying to figure out where I could put a table, which I ended up putting it next to the fridge. And that way your Sims don't have to just eat at the couch once I place that a little bit later. They can have a little formal spot to go. And there will be only one Sim living here. I mean, you could put two if you wanted here. But in my mind, I'm imagining only one Sim living there. So it just has the one chair at the end, which ended up working out. And now I'm just working on some more decorations. I really like to make my builds a little bit lived in, so that way they feel a little bit homey too. And that way your Sims get the moodlet that's like nicely decorated. I always like doing that too. And my mom has this big thing of having a window in front of her sink. Like every time she looks for houses, she always says, "I has to have a window in front of the sink." So now I just kind of incorporate that into all of my builds. I mean, in the apartment that I lived in college, I didn't have a window in front of my sink, which was fine. But I do notice that I look for that a lot when I look for other places to live. And underneath the stairs, I decided to have a desk, and I wanted to have a TV there too, because I feel like almost everyone has a TV, right? And so I put a little side table next to it, so that way everything wasn't so cramped on the desk. Plus, if I were to put the TV on the desk too, then it would be kind of hidden behind the computer. And that way it kind of uses up all the room too, because the desk wasn't so long that it could fit both. And then on the other side, that's where I'm going to put the couch. I couldn't fit a big long one. I mean, technically I could, but that would be the only thing that would be there. I really wanted to put like a lamp and also a bin, because I always end up forgetting that. I will also end up forgetting to put a mailbox in front. So when I went to go take screenshots, and it kind of just ended up inside the house. Whoops. But I mean, the living room is kind of small. I could only fit that small couch, but again, if there's only one person living here, then I guess it doesn't really matter. Unless you wanted to take a nap downstairs, then. But it's okay. The bed is going to be upstairs, which, I mean, for some people that might be too much work to go upstairs, but it's fine. And right now I'm just working on some decorations around. I didn't really know what to do with any of the walls. I ended up putting a window on the wall next to the door. And like I said earlier, windows are a trouble for me. It's a kind of place. But once I start working on the inside and I can see what looks good, because I feel like on the outside, unless you have so many windows, then everything will probably look okay. I mean, I thought that looked kind of okay too. I'm really liking that little corner table that we got from Get Famous. And I feel like it works perfectly right there, because if you were to put like a regular square end table right there, then there just won't be a lot of room. And maybe it'd be fine for a sim. I feel like they could maybe get around there still. But I mean, just thinking, like, for me, I would want a little bit more room, so that way it didn't feel so cramped. Then I decided to put a little shelf up there. And I imagine that the sim, again, really does like plants and everything, but they don't have enough room for a garden, so they just put all their plants inside. So I figured a little space in the corner would be nice for that. And I really wanted to have a little coat rack up there, but there wasn't a good spot where I put those plants and everything, so I just moved it to the other side, which is still fine because it's still really close to the door of how small this build is. And I'm just making some finishing touches to the downstairs, trying to make sure everything looks good. I almost forgot about the lights there. And I noticed that because I'm going to make a loft on the second floor, right? I really wanted to have a light up there. So I had to put the light up there first and then remove the floor. Otherwise, if I would have tried to put the light after removing the floor, then it wasn't going to work as well. Because it would try to put it on the first floor still. I don't know. So that's the order I had to do that in. And the room's pretty simple. Just a bed, side table, and dresser. I decided to put a mirror by the dresser so that we could open it up a little bit. And I feel like it might feel pretty open with it being a loft and you can look down and everything. But again, the place is pretty tiny. So just trying to make it more comfortable for anyone that were to live there. And then I kind of went a little bit crazy with the windows here. But that was also because I didn't know like what decorations to put up there. I tried to think of like what would I have if I were to live here type of thing. Because I feel like maybe I would live here. Again, I would have to live by myself, but who knows. I thought having these fairy lights were a really cool element to put in there. And then this wall decoration, I don't even know what they're called, but we got it from Get Famous. So I thought that would be cool to have there too. And then above that window, I decided to put a shelf up there. Just one of the pre-made shelves. I can't remember which pack that came from. Maybe it was Parenthood. I don't know. But that looks like it's the end of my build. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I will be putting this up on the gallery. I'll put my ID down at the bottom. And I hope you enjoyed my very first video. I've been watching a lot of SimTubers a lot lately, so I don't know. I feel like I really like building, so I might as well start doing it too. But anyways, thank you again for watching, and I'll be making more of these soon.